We are at Donington Park GP. The GP layout of this track is, in my opinion, quite a bit better. We had my first outright podium here last year, and I feel I can go into this weekend and win. It's the first time all year that I've felt that.
Here we are at Donington Park. It's our 8th weekend. We've got 2 independent wins under our belt. We're at a stage where we need to be challenging for independent wins. If we're not challenging for independent wins, something's gone wrong with the weekend.
You know, our pace over the last few weekends is what's giving me that confidence. We've a real chance, and all you can do is prepare to the best of your abilities, hope for what you can do.
You know, I've already told Adam we're coming for him. I like to see that kind of camaraderie among the independents, because it's so hard to break into that top 15.
But I am confident in going into it. I'm excited to see what we can achieve, and I'm excited to give the team what they deserve.
The top teams are much better funded than the independents, and for the smaller teams to actually achieve what they do achieve is quite remarkable.
Yeah, so this is actually one of a really nice day we have today. We're at Castle Combe circuit today. We're out doing a little bit of testing with Pete Jones' son Nathan in the Mini. It's such a fun car to drive, especially at a track like this. This track is so fast, it's so flowing. So yeah, this is a really good day out, and it's a nice chill day out before we go to Donington Park next weekend. But yeah, today just enjoy yourselves and have a bit of fun. That's really the main aim of the day. All right, Nate.
Yeah.
You good?
I'm good.
Yeah, ready to go?
Yeah.
Just be careful of that quarry corner up there. Make sure you brake in a straight line.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to be ending up in there.
No, of course not.
We don't want to bring the car home in 2 bits.
No, we'd rather in 1 bit. We've only been here once supporting Chris.
Yeah. So basically, the first time Nathan was here was 2022. I think his eyes will open up a little bit around this track. It's quite fast. Sort of slowing down and then you're speeding up before you made it to the apex.
Yeah.
If you could just sort of slow down in the straight part, and then drive through the corner instead of speeding up before you get to the corner, because that's sort of giving you a bit of push. Let the guys do the tire pressures here. Go ahead and do 7 or 8 laps is enough.
Yeah, that was good.
He just needs to carry a bit more speed in, you know, but that's just building up confidence. It's just one of those tracks where the more laps you do around it, the more confident you get. I think he could race all right. You know, I think he's confident in the car.
So it's a beautiful sunny day in Castle Combe today.
Yeah.
Which is not unlike it was the last time we were here.
Yeah, it's 2 years ago. That's the scary thing about it.
Yeah.
You know, 2 years goes so fast. You know, you probably wouldn't have thought 2 years ago, with us being here today, that with us running the TCR car in 22 and winning the championship, and we came from stone last to third on to finish third. That's what really cemented us the championship that day. You know.
We didn't lose it that day.
We certainly didn't lose it, but we could have.
Could quite easily.
We could have, but you know. 2 years later, did you ever expect it would be standing here, you know, wondering how it would do next weekend in the BTCC at Donington?
If you said that to me 2 years ago, I'd probably laughed. Yep. So Donington's coming up. What do you think, Chris?
You know, I think with the work that we have done with the car over the winter and what we've done with it this year, you know, most weekends we have had pace to be in the middle of the top 10 somewhere. And you know, at Croft, we were genuinely disappointed with 7th place because we did have the pace to be in the top 6.
Yeah. Castle Combe's a great track. Why isn't the British Touring Cars here?
Yeah, well, you know, I've spoken about this earlier. I think I think it could cope with the touring car grid. I think if this was a round of the BTCC, it'd be absolutely phenomenal. You know, it's so fast. It's like a mini Thruxton almost.
And what are your hopes for the rest of the season?
My hopes for the rest of the season, more independent wins would be nice. I really want to either win a race or get on the overall podium. You know, I think for all the hard work we've done this year, that would be nice.
It comes when it comes.
Yeah, it comes when it comes.
But I think we've certainly done the work.
We both have full-time jobs outside of this, and this is another full-time job on top of a full-time job.
Absolutely.
So qualifying coming up on a track surface that about an hour ago was dry. Then we had quite a bit of heavy rain, and it is drying, but it's going to give the teams a little bit of a quandary.
There's quite a bit of water on the track there, isn't there? Look at all the standing water sitting down there. It's a pain that water down the left-hand side there.
The field divided into the two groups, ready for Q1. For this qualifying session, you've got 2 slick tyre compounds to choose from.
We know where he's going to be on the wet tyre amongst everyone else.
Okay.
Yep. So let's give him a shot. Let's just roll the dice with him, you know. Yeah. Yep. If he goes out now, he can generate the tyre temperature he needs. If he comes in and it dries up, we'll never do it. Yeah. So let's just do it.
Longer lap as well here. Of course, when we were at Donington at the start of the season, it was the just under 2 mile long lap. Here, 2.5 miles in 10 minutes. Not that many laps can be done. So 8 minutes to go, 2 minutes have elapsed, and nobody has even gone on to a flying lap. This again illustrates the point we're making. 10 minutes really doesn't give you much scope for many laps.
A key to the good qualifying at Donington. Well, it all depends. The weather here today is a bit tricky. It might dry, it's wet at the moment. Obviously on the GP circuit as well, anything can happen. It's such a big track, such a long lap. So yeah, we'll see how we get on.
10 cars in this group, but only 6 will progress. We've yet to get a lap time out of anybody, and we are already at less than 7 minutes to go. Ingram offers up the best lap time of a 1:42.709, and Chilton behind it is 6/10 slower. So there's plenty of time to come as the road dries, and will get drier, of course, all the way through qualifying. So Q3 will, in theory, be the fastest element of this. Mikey Doble through, Nick Halstead through, Aron Taylor-Smith, another one to keep an eye on in this session. And we're down to 3.5 minutes to go. Only 4 of our 10 have set a time, because Aron Taylor-Smith has just gone up to 5th fastest. And Mikey Doble there heading up towards us in the Evans Halshaw with Power Max Racing Vauxhall Astra, and he has done the absolute best within Sector 1. And you can see that Mikey Doble is on the headlights to try to warn Dan Camish of his progress, and he encounters Camish down at the hairpin, and that's going to take just a little bit of time out of Doble's lap.
Make a note of that, just in case you've been blocked.
So Mikey Doble, 1 more corner to go, but has finding traffic at the Melbourne hairpin really spoilt the lap for him. Mikey Doble yet to do a lap time, goes quickest of all, 1:42.456, 2/10 quicker than Ingram.
But that's just a confidence thing, yeah? That's all that is.
Got 23 seconds on the clock, and right now, Camish, Moffat, Scott Sumpton and Andrew Watson are those that are out. Mikey Doble in that flying Vauxhall, 2 absolute bests now. Taylor-Smith goes second, and that pushes Camish down to 5th.
Here comes Sumpton.
Yeah, who ended up being the independent winner at Knockhill in race 3, and he crosses the line, ends up 9th, doesn't go through. That gives us Doble, Taylor-Smith, it's a Power Max to 1-2, Ingram 3rd, Osborne 4th, Camish 5th, Chilton 6th. They are the drivers that will progress, and we lose Halstead, Moffat again, Watson and Sumpton.
Good job P2, Mikey P1, bit to fine tune. Good job.
The problem is now, we've given the best opportunity to do exactly what Doble and Aron did.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he's doing. It's not good enough. You have to capitalise on these opportunities, you know.
So yeah, the Cupra is a bit of a handful. Coming from the other touring car championship, there's so much going on inside the British touring car. Learning how to deploy the hybrid, when to deploy it. There's just so much going on.
Mikey Doble is the fastest and goes through to Q2 with Aron Taylor-Smith. We lose Nick Halstead, Aidan Moffat, Andrew Watson and Scott Sumpton. Ash Sutton tiptoes down through the Craner curves. It's drying, but it's certainly not dry. It's the front-wheel drive contingent we need to be looking at. And, of course, within that group is Dan Zelos, having his first outing in the British Touring Car Championship and the first time he's had to cope with qualifying. Cook goes fastest then now, 1:38.676, fastest lap of Group 2, with at the moment outside that top 6, Sutton, Huff, Smiley and De Leon.
Awful. He's got one lap after this.
Push on this lap, push this lap.
Rowbottom is out, not for long. Yes, he is out because now Smiley goes up to 6th. Next car through is Chris Smiley. He ends up 7th, doesn't go through. Jake Hill goes to the top of the times now, 1:35.278. Jake Hill, now the fastest.
Group 1, we had Scott. He didn't capitalise on the situation that we was in. He was only the 3rd car that was out on the slick tyre. Everyone else was on the wet. Obviously, you look at what Aron and Mikey did next door. They did a great job, and Scott should have been right behind them, but he didn't. And that's just a learning. He's new to the championship. It's just understanding when to push on those situations. So yeah, he'll learn from this. It's one of those things. It's frustrating for the team, frustrating for him, but we'll understand going forward how we can improve to sort of be in that situation that they was, you know. Tomorrow in not a very good position, but anything can happen. I know the weather is supposed to be dry tomorrow. It's BTCC. I've seen a lot of things change when you don't have a good Saturday, but you have a great Sunday, so we'll see what happens tomorrow.
You did it once past then, and only got 2 laps. It's good, mega pace. Good pace for you as well. Not bad as well. Second off, you know.
Let's go, say the teams. Q2 is underway. So everybody venturing out onto the circuit from those 12.
They're going to have to push and find the limits, even though it's not ideal conditions.
It's going to be another fascinating 6 minutes, which is all we've got left now as the road continues to dry at Donington. Mikey Doble is 5th, and with an absolute best and a personal best, ought to be able to haul himself higher up that top 6, which will make him a little bit safer. Turkington 2nd, Cook 3rd, Mikey Doble 4th, Taylor-Smith 5th, Morgan 6th, though we've lost Hill, Camish, Sutton, Chilton, Huff and Osborne at the moment, but not all of those have taken the flag. Here is Sutton, up towards the line, goes through, and he's 4th, and that pushes Jake Hill out.
Okay mate, that was a nerve-wracking couple of minutes, P6.
And the green flag is shown. We're back in business. Colin Turkington offers up the first flying lap, 1:34.2. Sutton goes quicker at 33.7. Doble is in the pits for Tarcross. Josh Cook and Aron Taylor-Smith are the other 2 that have gone on to an outlap. Over the line goes Josh Cook to go 2nd then. Turkington, Cook, Sutton is the order.
Where's this lap going to put Aron Taylor's 4th? Excellent.
Ahead of Ingram and Doble, who've yet to do a time. 3 minutes of qualifying remain. Colin Turkington is the fastest for the moment. And there is Mikey Doble coming up through Coppice, that double apex right, and 2.5 minutes are on the clock. So the Vauxhall flicks out of the S's, goes down now towards the Melbourne hairpin.
You need to make the next lap count, you need to make the next lap count.
He's the only one not yet to have recorded a time, and he goes 3rd fastest then. Mikey Doble up to 3rd, ahead of Ingram and Sutton and Taylor-Smith 6th. So Josh Cook has done it. Career pole number 4 and 71 thousandths of a second the margin.
P6 at the end, P6. Losing out down the crane, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. It was a bit sketchy from the rear, quite snappy. You know what I mean? I was like,
yeah, right, yeah.
Oh, f***ing hell. Anytime, it was like the car was very acceptable being touched by the damp on the rear.
Right.
As soon as I touched that, I'd lose it and then catch it.
Yeah.
So I had to be really sensitive. I felt like that's where a lot of the time was, because once I got a snap, it was like I'm onto the wet side of the track. And it's,
yeah, I reckon that's that rear.
Yeah, probably. But still, like the 3 top 6 shootouts, I think are f***ing good, and we know what to do tomorrow with it. So yeah. I think it's a good place to be. Yeah.
So here at Donington Park, just completed qualifying, and we've just had a fantastic result. By far my best qualifying of the season, which was P10 up till now. We've just put it P3 on the grid for tomorrow's first race. The last few rounds, Aron's had the slight edge on me in qualifying, but this one it's nice to knock him down a peg or 2. He's starting P6, I'm P3, so I'm the #1 Astra for tomorrow's first race, and let's hope it stays that way.
Hold on. That was hard.
Yeah.
And stressful.
Yeah, I think if we had the tyre at the end, it could have got a little bit more. But
It's a shame Jake's in P7 because he's just close enough to be a problem tomorrow.
I think we're disappointed. We maybe feel like we could have eked out that little bit of extra performance. We're only 0.16 seconds off the pole and we're P4. To get to P2, we needed another 0.07 of a second, and it's those tiny margins that we're fighting. Maybe we didn't quite maximise it, but I think all round not a bad effort. So biggest threat is Ingram, who's 20 points ahead of us in the championship and is only one place behind us on the grid, which is a bit painful. And then Jake is another 3 places further behind in P7. So there's not a lot of room between the championship contenders at all. We're all in that mix in the middle. I think someone tomorrow has just got to try and get to the front in race 1 and see if he can win race 1 and win race 2.
Do I get like a clipperboard thing? I'm Dan Zelos. I'm 3-time Virtue Motors Mini Challenge champion, and this weekend I am debuting in the Team Bristol Street Motors Hyundai in the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. You know, at the moment I've just got excitement to get out there and get on the grid, and obviously there's that feeling of nervousness. It's quite daunting. It is a massive step up, but I'm very fortunate that I've had 6 years in the Mini Challenge where I've been in a front-wheel drive car, a car with similar characteristics, similar body, and been doing very similar racing, you know, a little wing mirror bash here and there and things like that. So I feel like I'm as prepared as I could be to make the step, which is a massive benefit. And working alongside Excelr8 Motorsport, being their reserve driver, being very close, good friends with Nick Helsted, Tom Ingram and Tom Shilton, it means that I'm as prepared as I can be, but I'm still fully aware that there's a massive mountain to climb, and there'll be a lot of lessons learned on the way, but I'm just excited to get stuck in and try and absorb everything I can.
So today, race day, it's a new day, you know. It looks like it's going to be trial day, which is good. Yesterday was tough for the team. It's not qualifying that we ever want, but look, it's BTCC, you know, anything can happen. Race 1, we just want to survive and finish. Round here, a lot does happen, so if we can stay out of trouble, get a good start, and Chris and Scott just progress, and we try and aim for that reverse grid, you know, that's our aim for today. So from the start, it's going to be tricky. I mean, we've got Rowbottom and Moffat behind us, which we know they're quick, they're going to come through, but if we can keep them behind and push on, try and save the tyres a little bit. Obviously hybrid comes into effect, we have all hybrid to use, so yeah, we'll see what happens in race 1. Ready? Get stuck in. Just get stuck in.
Yeah, I will do.
Believe in yourself, yeah? Get stuck in. Keep it clean. Make some moves. Push on, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, just believe in yourself. That's all you've got to do.
I will do.
Get a good start.
Yeah.
Hang on the back of them. Let all the craziness happen in front.
Yeah.
Okay? Just drive past them. All right? You've got maximum hybrid. Use it. All right?
Will do. Good, thank you, Jamie.
Good luck, Wizzy.
Thank you very much.
Good luck.
Get stuck in.
Get stuck in. Do you feel that yesterday Doble had the better prep with doing once past?
A combination. I think we were probably a little stiff for wet to greasy to green.
Yeah, okay.
So they're a little softer.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I think that probably played.
Well, f*** off. We don't want you over here. Go on. I'm talking to my superstar now. You're not in this. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you?
No, but I think Mikey drove good.
Yeah.
But I think our car was a little too edgy. Like,
okay.
I thought we were going to get knocked out in Q1.
Yep.
That's how I was going to get knocked out in Q2.
Yep.
So I was like, at least we're here.
Yeah, sure.
So I think it'll be better today. Right.
Go do it, mate.
Yeah. Thanks.
Literally got to follow these two. Yeah? Just follow Moffat through. Okay? He'll get a good start, he always does. Okay, so just stay with him. Great job. See, I still can't help but care.
Yeah.
You might want to knock your door handle back in your passenger side. See, I just care too much. I know. Okay, it's 3 minutes, 3 minutes.
So the last couple of cars through Goddard's up onto the grid. We are ready for round 22 of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship. Lights change, a good getaway by Colin Turkington. It's a demon start, is it good enough? On the slow start from Dan Zelos, and Turkington leads on the run down towards Redgate, moves across, covers off any attack from Josh Cook on the inside line, and it's going to be BMW from Toyota, from Ford. Ash Sutton is up to third at the expense of Mikey Doble. Darryl De Leon off in the background as well as they swoop through Coppis for the first time. Aron Taylor-Smith under attack from Jake Hill.
Side by side coming into the chicane, that's Mikey Doble and Ingram trying to go around the outside. He could get forced across the gravel, he does.
They're still going side by side down to the Melbourne hairpin. Ingram on the inside, Mikey Doble on the outside line. Aron Taylor-Smith is there behind them. This is Jake Hill's view, and the Astros almost getting themselves together there.
Oh no, Doble slid into the side of Ingram and turned him around. Disaster for Ingram.
He's got going again. Doble's got damage as well, but Tom Ingram drops way down the order.
Brakes too late. May have possibly got a little touch, but into the side of Ingram he clatters.
Cook versus Sutton for second. Hill versus everybody else for fourth. Look at that. There's a long queue of cars going through. Darryl De Leon getting back ahead of Scott Sutton for penultimate place after his earlier off. Mikey Doble down in 16th after his delay with Ingram. That's Andrew Watson in the gravel. That's at the S's by the look of it, and I can't see that going anywhere. This may well be a safety car period. He gets it all sideways and hits the tar stack, launches the car up onto two wheels.
Look at that. That has just buried itself in the ground as they've pulled it.
Yeah.
Oh, I dread to think what that's done to the front of the car.
Safety car in this lap, close the gap, close the gap.
Green flag is waved then. We are back racing at the end of lap 7. 17 lap race now because of the safety car period, and over the timing line they go. Turkington tries to rebuild that gap over Ash Sutton.
He's got a lovely gap, he's got to push on.
Turkington is getting away, and what about Ingram? But he's not really able to make the move. That's Aron Taylor-Smith getting it wrong, and Rob Huff makes an attack on the run down towards the Melbourne hairpin. He's done it, and Taylor-Smith is badly delayed out of all of that. Look, because Morgan has gone past him, Ingram has got past him, Camish has got past him, Ingram gets past Camish into the bargain, so 2 places gained for Ingram on this lap alone. And Jake Hill is closing now on Josh Cook, isn't he, for that 3rd place. So it's game on here, and this, given Tom Ingram's travails, would put Jake into the lead of the championship by 1 point, but I'm not convinced things are going to stay like this. Ingram is still pushing. This recovery, helped a little maybe by the safety car, has been on pace alone, and Cook gets it all sideways and hits the tyres, delays him. Hill goes through for 3rd, and the lead gap has come right down as well. Round 22 of the championship at Donington, won by Colin Turkington. Ash Sutton is 2nd, and Jake Hill is going to be 3rd as he takes the checkered flag. Aron Taylor-Smith and Sam Osborne is 10th. Aidan Moffat up to 11th. Dan Zelos, great debut to be 12th from Chris Smiley. Dan Rowbottom, and Mikey Doble takes the last point.
Checkered flag, P15, P15.
Right,
no straight line speed.
Straight line speed.
So slow.
Everything else?
Slow.
Just straight line.
Up the hill, just pull away from it.
Okay. Okay?
Yeah, no, I'm trying to f***ing hard and
Yes,
try
right.
as far as quick as I can. I'm not just sitting there poodling around. So again, pissed off. I'm not pissed off with that, but it could have been better.
Yeah, okay. It's tough around here, it's a long lap.
It is a long lap, but it seemed like the last 5 laps that they've got that gap, and then that gap didn't get any bigger.
Yeah.
So maybe that's me taking my time to get up to
building up to it.
distance.
Yeah, okay.
But it did feel quite understeery.
Yep.
After a safety car.
Alright, let's go in with debrief. Yeah, it was alright, it wasn't too bad. We lost some time mid-race, but it's just one of those really. Puts us in a better position for race 2, so we'll see what happens in the next one.
Just completed race 1 here, Donington, after fantastic qualifying yesterday. Extremely disappointed to have had a really poor opening lap there. Had a bit of a battle with Tom Ingram on the first lap. We were side by side through the chicane. He cut the corner. We continued side by side down into the hairpin. That went round to Goddard's, and unfortunately outbroke myself and made contact with Tom. Not what I wanted at all. Fortunately, I went off in the process, damaged the car, so it was killed after that. And then it ended up being a tough battle just to stay in the points. So, real big shame for everyone after such a great day yesterday, but we got 2 races left and we'll see what we can do.
Solid race 1. You know, I felt the goal is to always pick up more silverware, so it's nice to be sat with a trophy. I'd be lying if I said I didn't want more from that race for myself. I felt like we had a chance to challenge for that top 5 where we were sat, maybe even a sniff of the podium. Just got caught out after the restart with the gravel on the track. We start 9th, good hybrid allocation, and I know the chassis is in a great spot. Our race pace, in my opinion, was a chunk better than what we've seen the last few rounds. So now we can make a few little changes here and yeah, keep on pushing.
Yet another curveball thrown at the teams then. So it has rained, they've gone for slicks. It's a damp and greasy surface to begin with. They're going to have to be a bit cautious on that one.
Hill, slicks, button, slicks. The only one playing Jeopardy at the minute is Tom.
For round 23 of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship, lights in a moment will go red. They do so now, and when the lights go out, it's a good start by Turkington, it's a good start by Hill as well, and a good start by Adam Morgan. So all the BMWs away swiftly. Not a great getaway by Josh Cook though, from Sutton, from Hill, from Ingram, and there's contact that puts Cook sideways, and Dan Camish is the one that comes off worse. He's all over the wet grass, and he is going to rejoin that flat last.
Oh, he's going around the outside. He said he would attack. He's got to pass before they even get to McLean's. Great stuff. He must have been super quick through the old hairpin. Ingram will have good traction off the corner. He got his front tyres really warm. Look at that. He's able to cut inside Hill, but Hill's got the inside. They'll be side by side.
But Ingram is going to go through on the inside into Redgate. So the job is done. Chris Smiley turns through Redgate in the Restart Racing Cupra. So Rowbottom is up to 8th. Moffat 9th. Taylor-Smith 10th. Smiley 11th. Osborne 12th as they head down the hill. And Dan Camish in 19th place, trying to recover, but so much time lost as he had to sort out that moment on the wet grass.
He has to stay with Aron, yeah?
Sutton leading Turkington, and then in 3rd place, Ingram. Aron Taylor-Smith, another one chipping his way forward on the last lap. He was doing his level best to gain ground.
Ben, just give him loads of these, cheer him on.
Chris Smiley in 9th place. He's dropping away from the leaders, but that Restart Racing Cupra keeping a whole load of names behind. And we've got Aidan Moffat into the pit lane, in the sign language suggests. That's it, turn it off.
9 to go, mate, 9 to go.
Cars now run down towards the Melbourne hairpin, and look at Ingram's pace all of a sudden. Charges around the outside of Turkington to go second, having used the hybrid, and as he breaks for the hairpin, sorts out a slide, but Ingram up into 2nd place.
He's been caught up, he's being gobbled up by that pack.
Osborne to the outside, to the inside Taylor-Smith, and Smiley loses 1, might lose 2, he might lose 3, because here also comes Tom Chilton. Smiley doesn't want to give up any more ground than he has to, but he can't defend from everybody everywhere all at once. Down they come to the S's. And Smiley ends up at the back of the pack. Chilton has to take to the gravel to avoid the tyres, and that'll give Smiley a place back on the run down to the Melbourne hairpin.
His pace is good, yeah?
And he's on the outside of Smiley.
He's in front of Tom Chilton. He's trying ever so hard to keep his powder dry, keep his nose clean. He doesn't want to damage that car, but he's right in the middle of the racing.
Chris, you're quicker than Aron in Sector 1, Sector 2 and Sector 3. You are slower.
So Ford, Hyundai and BMW. Napa Racing UK from Team Bristol Street Motors, from Team BMW, and from the championship this would put Tom Ingram back into the lead.
He's on it now, he's on it, trying to do the same manoeuvre. Sutton's already moved over to the inside. Sutton is not using hybrid this lap, and he is able to defend.
Now look at this, Ash Sutton is away and gone on this lap, and Ingram suddenly has to defend resolutely from Turkington. And so Tom Ingram then now drops way off the back of Sutton. He drops to 3rd place behind Turkington, and Jake Hill is closing. Ingram has got a problem of some description. This now becomes damage limitation for Tom Ingram, doesn't it, as they come now into the left-hander of Goddard. So Ingram is in danger of losing 2 more places here before the end of the lap, because that is a hobbled car. And next up is Dan Rowbottom. There's the change for 3rd. It's happened. Hill goes by. Cook is going to be through by the end of the lap, possibly. And Ingram has got big problems. We understand the engine temperature has shot up, and Tom Ingram is heading for the pit lane. So this is very bad news indeed for Tom Ingram for the championship. Limps down to the pit lane, and he slots the car straight into the garage. Race done, and the team will descend upon it to try to get that sorted out for race 3.
We said at the start of this race it could be a hero or zero moment, but for him to have a DNF now, have to start the next race at the very back if he can get out, is a potential, I'm only saying potential, but it's a potential championship deciding moment.
Ash Sutton wins race 2 at Donington. Colin Turkington chasing him home. Jake Hill for 3rd position. And Andrew Watson and Chris Smiley, the two Northern Irish drivers, squabbling together. That Toyota up from the back of the grid ahead of the Cupra. And all of this is for 14th and 15th places. It's going to be Andrew Watson just ahead as they come to the line. Chris Smiley sadly dropping away as the race went on. Maybe that car picked up a problem because he had a train of cars behind him early on.
Okay, mate, P8. We'll be having a visit to the scales.
Under braking, it would move. It's coming down into the chicane. Every time I hit the brakes, I'm like, oh, just expected a wheel to go.
Yeah, it was a tough race, to be honest. It was looking good. Chris got a good start, which was good, and so did Scott, to be fair. Obviously battling with Aaron, it's our main competition, it's the independent obviously, and Chris was leading that for a part of the start of the race, which was good, but I'm not too sure what's happened. He dropped off, so we need to understand why and speak to him in debrief in a minute, so yeah.
Not very well is the simple answer as how race 2 panned out for me. Suboptimal, rubbish, bit annoying, but not good is the simple answer, because we were running in great form. You know, we were running P2, sitting in behind Ash. We had a bit of hybrid in the bank. The car was feeling marvellous. Colin was behind, Jake was behind. We were sort of P2 and looking good, if I'm honest. I felt like it was a bit of a win on the cards. Would have been a bit risky with Ash, but I was thinking at that point I was kind of prepared to take the risk. And unfortunately, we got shot. Somebody shot us with a big stone, and it went straight through the radiator, out the other side. That was the end of the race. So we unfortunately had to pit early. Saving grace of pitting early is it means we can start on getting the engine in ASAP. So spare subframe is going on as we speak with the new engine in. Fingers crossed we should be ready for race 3.
It is 11. You got 11. It's never going to be easy winning this championship, is it?
Round 24 of the Quick Fit British Touring Car Championship on the Donington Grand Prix circuit is go. And a good start is made then by Adam Morgan as predicted. A good start by Dan Camish to lead the way down towards Redgate for the first time. Aron Taylor-Smith goes round the outside, runs it up the curve. And he's level with his teammate Mikey Doble as they drop down the hill for the first time. So you've got two Fords ahead of the two Vauxhalls that are absolutely overlapping, and Taylor-Smith just gets through for 3rd place. Osborne looking a bit ragged as Camish tries to build a lead. Look in the background, headlights ablaze. Ingram on a mission. There he is up the curve on the inside of Darryl De Leon. He's hustling his way through. He's gained about 4 places already. And off the road goes one of the Fords. That's Sutton through the gravel. They've all survived it. There was a Hyundai off the racetrack as well. Chris Smiley has a 5-second penalty for a full start. There in the background, Josh Cook gets roughed up wide. Mikey Doble involved in all of that.
Ingram is in front of Hill.
He's done it already, hasn't he? So that means that he's into 8th place now.
Wow. What a drive. What a drive.
Another place to be gained there at the inside of Sam Osborne. Through he goes. That now gives him 7th spot. Here you have this inter-Nissan Vauxhall battle where Doble comes back at Taylor-Smith. Side by side they are up towards the right-hander of McLean. Doble's the one on the outside, Aron Taylor-Smith on the inside, and Mikey Doble's got his nose in front, heading up towards Coppice. Great to watch, but Adam Weaver, the team owner, must be having kittens in the pit lane. Safety car has been deployed. There's lots of debris there, look, on the road coming out of the Melbourne hairpin. You can see why there's debris all over the road there.
Safety car, races the boards, wait, races the boards.
And Chris Smiley's car in the pit lane with trouble.
Leave it.
And we go racing again at Donington. Dan Camish leads over the line. It is Aron Taylor-Smith behind him in 2nd place. Mikey Doble 3rd, Morgan 4th, Cook 5th, Ingram 6th. And he's not done yet. But Tom Ingram has the inside line for Coppice. We know he's good on the brakes, and he's up alongside Morgan, and he's got that job done. Tom Ingram goes 5th from 19th on the grid. So Josh Cook will be the next target. Rowbottom comes up to have a go at Morgan as well. Big drama in the background as off the road goes Aidan Moffat. Tom Ingram then up into 4th place now. More and more spots of rain, look. Another camera lens, different part of the racetrack. More spots of liquid upon it. Safety car deployed again. Safety car for the second time. We're not just talking spots on the camera lens. This is rain, and they're all on slick tyres.
They boxing for wets? No way.
So we have into the pit lane Tom Chilton and also Nick Halstead. So we're back racing once more.
Scott, you're racing now. Get stuck in, all right?
Dan Camish leads, but he's got Aron Taylor-Smith right on his tail. 0.2 of a second between them, down towards Redgate. Dan Camish trying to hang on to the race lead, but Aron Taylor-Smith throwing caution to the wind here. Ingram makes his move against Doble. This is for third place, remember, from 19th on the grid. Through goes Ingram. Now the gap second to third is just 0.6 of a second. 2 laps to go, and Ingram is almost there, ready to challenge Taylor-Smith. So here he comes, though, to try to make that move for second place. Up towards the right-hander of McLean's, Aron Taylor-Smith defends, brakes as late as he dares, but Ingram's already worked out his plan for copies. Taylor-Smith knows what that plan is going to be. He comes off the inside line. Ingram on the outside is going to have to be really brave to make that work, and he is really brave, but it kind of does work because Ingram's got his nose in front coming through the corner. He doesn't want to use the hybrid if he can avoid it. He wants to do this on pure pace and late braking, and he's up to second place.
Hill and Cook absolutely glued together, fighting for every point.
And 9th different winner of the season. That man is Dan Camish. Second is Tom Ingram from 19th on the grid, the driver of the day. Third, Aron Taylor-Smith. Josh Cook takes 4th. Jake Hill is 5th. Mikey Doble 6th. Sutton was ahead by 21 thousandths of a second as Huff's car faded away during the course of the race.
In the first lap, around the last hairpin, Moffat just drilled straight into the back of me and pushed me way off down there.
Okay.
And that lost me a load of places. Then I got back past Zelos, down into the last hairpin.
You was out of position on the box.
Yeah, you had a 5-6 minute.
Over?
Yeah, you was miles over. Yeah, so the weekend, it's been tricky for us really. It's been a hard weekend. Obviously the GP circuit, new for Chris in this car this year, as well as Scott. Chris, unfortunately had contact. I'm not too sure who the contact was with, but yeah, obviously there's quite severe damage to the front of the car. We just made the decision just to park it for the rest of the race.
Race 1 and 2, not what I wanted them to be. The pace was there, but it just came too far into the race. Race 3 there, it's always known as a carnage race in the BTCC, so got stuck in, made some good moves on some big names as well that have been in the game for a long time. So yeah, to be able to race with them and put moves on them and race cleanly and fairly, it was amazing. Just got to take that on to Silverstone and then Brand's finale at the end of the year.
You come into the weekend always full of optimism, and you never really know how it's going to go. That's the truth of it. Like I always think we can win, but even to be in that fight is so damn hard in this championship. You know, you look up and down this grid, it's the best drivers, best teams, best circuits, best engineers, best everything. So to even be in with a sniff of a win is something I'm so incredibly proud of. So to get 3 independent wins and another outright podium is outrageous.
I have just completed, hopefully my first of many British Touring Car events, and it has been absolutely unbelievable. It's been a dream come true for me, my family, and it's just, yeah, I haven't got words yet to describe it, but I appreciate everybody's helps from Team Bristol Street Motors and Macklin Motors. It's been unbelievable, and it's just given me the hunger to come back and do more. Favourite part of the weekend, I think coming across the line at the end of race 3 in P11. We got 3 races, three good lots of points. The car's back in one piece pretty much. Toughest part of the weekend was dealing with the pace of it all. I'm used to 2-3 hours of breaks in between races in mini challenge, and you're on the go all the time. You know, not much time to sit down with your engineer when really I need to be listening to what he's telling me that I'm doing wrong. So the pace of it all was phenomenal, and obviously, you know, the door bashing and the wing mirror bashing and things like that. It's it's up another level. But you know, I feel like I've earned the right to be here. So we're here now, so we'll do what we can.
Silverstone is an important weekend. It's probably going to be one of the most important weekends of the year because we then have the last 6 races of the year. Silverstone's a circuit I love. It's going to be a hell of a weekend. There's going to be a lot riding on it. But I'm really looking forward to it.
Can't write anybody off. Come on! It's tough for championships.
The cars are aquaplaning. Look,
definitely raining.
That is so bad.
Yeah, it's like someone's going to get hurt.
Big lose from the BMW.
Oh, he did it!